challenging Abuja's continued stay in office. Justice Lifu held that materials placed before the court clearly showed that Abuja's tenure as national chairman of the Labour Party had expired. The court dismissed Abuja's arguments that the dispute was an internal party affair. The former member House of Representatives Amak Buhari constituency, Micah Yohana Jiba, has announced his resignation from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, citing that it has become necessary for him to identify with the ruling party, the APC, which is recording progress, especially with its track records in the Federal Capital Territory. The former House of Representatives member made this known while speaking to journalists in his residence at Lokogoma District in Abuja. Deborah Gazajimaika has the report.
The former honorable member tendered his resignation letter to the PDP Garki Ward Chairman Robo Adamu Monday evening.
We are not judges in the FCT politics. Before PDP 1998, I think there was a Zero Party, there was a UNCP, there was a SDP, in which we were participating.
He, however, commended the present administration for its massive strides, noting that here in the FCT, the people are happy with the government for bridging infrastructure gap, especially at the 6 area councils.
Mr. President is doing his best. The remaining one, God will complete it for him. So I want to say that he's doing his own best. So we are also going to contribute our contribution to him, our quota to him.
Micah Jiba says he awaits an official acceptance and reception by the ruling party in days to come. In Abuja, Deborah Gazajimaika, NTA News.
Has been put in place. The appeal tribunal under the Nigerian law serves as an appellate court for election disputes relating to the FCT area council elections. Dele Atumbi of our judiciary desk has the report.
Members of the three-man panel of FCT Area Council's Election Appeal Tribunal are Justice Suleiman Bolaji Begore, Justice Miriam Aliyu Hassan, and Justice Aliyu Yunusa Shafa. All members of the appeal panel are judicial officers in the High Court of the FCT. Inaugurating the appeal panel tribunal, the Chief Judge of the High Court of the FCT, Justice Hussaini Baba Yusuf, urges the judicial officers to be fair in the discharge of their judicial responsibilities to the appellants and the respondents. Justice Baba Yusuf points out that the centrality of law to democratic legitimacy explains why election adjudication is entrusted to specialized tribunals. He explains that the development is to provide an orderly, credible, and peaceful mechanism for resolving electoral disputes whose mishandling could threaten social cohesion and public trust.
The moral authority of your Lordship's decisions will depend in significant measure on the perceived independence and integrity of your conduct. I therefore charge your Lordships to maintain strict impartiality in the hearing and determination of all petitions, applications, and interlocutory matters. Justice must not only be done, it must be seen to be fairly done. You must uphold the right to fair hearing even under tight timelines. Each party must be afforded equal opportunity to present his case with the established rules.
3 of you will look at the facts of the case clearly and apply the law strictly so that you will arrive at unanimous decisions. The trial tribunal is usually on trial by members of the public.
For members of the FCT Area Council's Election Appeal Tribunal, Justice Baba Yusuf says with their inauguration, they have embarked on a duty that will test their diligence, courage, and character. Adjudication on the forthcoming FCT Area Council's election ends with the verdict of this appeal tribunal. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
Still on machineries ahead of the FCT polls as expectations for a credible and peaceful council election in the FCT builds up, INEC and security agencies say through coordination and consultations, it's been able to tighten loose ends towards ensuring that election materials and the election process is secured and violence-free. This was revealed during a consultative committee meeting on security preparatory to the February 21 FCT elections. Abdullahi Hajia has the report.
For interagency collaboration, it is top-notch from the security angle.
With the days of the FCT area council elections getting closer, the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security, co-chaired by the FCT Resident Electoral Commissioner Aminu Kasimu Idris and Commissioner of Police FCT Milat Ntawai, says issues of security, deployment of election materials and resources have been adequately taken care of through a high-level stakeholders coordination and consultations that is proactive to the peculiarities of pre, during, and post-election activities.
INEC carrying out its constitutional duty of conducting elections. We find your collaboration with us invaluable. Yeah, it is your collaboration that makes our efforts, our environment conducive for us to impute what we're supposed to do, and also get the electorate the confidence to come out and participate in the activity of voting and counting the votes and declaring winners. That this will give us the right environment to deliver on what Nigerians expect us to do in terms of conducting the FCT area council elections.
For all support that I have seen, it gives me the feeling that from the security angle, we will not fail. I strongly feel that everything that has been put on the table so far, we will have a seamless election at the end of the day.
And I just want to implore Abuja residents to be law-abiding. People should go out and vote. It is very important for us to be part and parcel of, the democratic process and in choosing political leaders that will, oversee the affairs, of the state, so to speak. So people should just be sensitized and know what they need to do.
The platform provided an opportunity for the latest update from INEC FCT on what have been accomplished and the ones inside.
We've also commenced dialogue with National Union of Road Transport Workers. We know how important this is. It's ongoing, and we are trying to use, because there have always been one major issue that we have when it comes to deployment, early deployment, which is very critical to the election process. So we were working with them. We're also in close collaboration with NYSC. We've been able to carry out a 6-week training. We call it route training for core members, all the core members that are deployed to the different area councils in the FCT. So we have three wards in 3 PUs in Gariki and then 1 in Jiwa. In these places, election will not hold because there are no registered voters in these 4 polling units.
Even with much assurances given on a credible poll, stakeholders also advised that INEC should ensure an efficient and effective functionality of machines to be used on the fields on the election day. In Abuja, Abdullahi Hajia, NTA News.
And a bit from the health sector, the Association of Resident Doctors Federal Capital Territory has lauded the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike for his commitment to the welfare of doctors in the territory. In a letter of appreciation to the minister, the resident doctors described the gesture as display of exemplary leadership and commitment to the welfare of health workers. In a statement by the Senior Special Assistant on Public Communication and Social Media, Larry Olainka, says the long-standing 13 months hazard allowance arrears, as well as one of the month's wage award, has been paid to the resident doctors. The letter was signed by the association's president, Dr. George Ebong, and the general secretary, Dr. Yusuf Israel Lisa. The association, however, promised to remain committed to constructive engagement and collaboration in advancing the FCT health sector and ensuring the continued delivery of quality healthcare services to the populace. Refuse piles continue to mount in several parts of the city center, disrupting traffic and raising environmental concern among residents. As the situation worsens, attention turns to the agency responsible for waste evacuation. Our correspondent, Sandra Akeme, was on ground earlier today to get reactions from the Abuja Environmental Protection Board.
Thank you, Hakimat. Just recently, our team visited the Nyanya axis, where refuse is frequently dumped indiscriminately, causing traffic congestion and creating a nuisance for residents and, of course, road users. This situation is not just limited to Nyanya alone, as similar scenes can be found across other parts of the city center. The indiscriminate dumping of refuse within the city center has become a major source of concern for residents. Heaps of waste left unattended pose serious environmental and public health risks. At the Abuja Environmental Protection Board to get reactions from officials, which is responsible for evacuating refuse, but is currently on an indefinite strike, making waste evacuation difficult. However, there is hope that the strike will soon be called off to allow necessary action to be taken. NTA will definitely continue to follow up on the situation and keep the public informed.
Let's now join our sports desk for Sports Brief.
CAF have revealed the best 11 of the just concluded African Cup of Nations tournament in Morocco. Yassine Bonu, Ashraf Hakimi, Nusar Mazraoui and Brahim Diaz were picked from the host nation Morocco. Eventual winners Senegal also had 4 players in the team: Niakite, Idriss Gana Gueye, Papa Gueye and Sadio Mane, while Calvin Bassey, Ademola Lookman and Victor Osimhen represent the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Moving to Europe, the UEFA Champions League resumed yesterday with some mouth-watering fixtures and shock results, with Manchester City and PSG losing, while there were massive victories for Arsenal and Real Madrid. Other fixtures continue tonight to close up the match week. With Sports Brief, Shamsuddin Osman, NTA News.
That's the English version of the news. Coming up shortly is the translations in local languages. Good evening.
Mà ta chỉ phải chơi của nó là gì à? Phải báo cái này. Đúng là bài sao cái này một cái gì mà như vậy. Muốn qua chơi à là bài chơi. Cái lúc đó của ta là bay cái gì ngoài cái ngay thì là cái hay của là oasis à quay là bên tổ chức cái Julius Abure. Nhà qua là cả này nhà lo à thì nội tế chính sách của ta sẽ ta có được level nhau. Pada ende sare to smane nadi ishi kwaje apa washinya wono ubago to 15 to ishi kwaje level ya ngaye wada pita waga owe we bi wada galupo na main bago to nya nai the supreme court ni wa ko be zira ko be da na asha wa pya ko na ke kwa ni e kwa dia ni babo ni wala ai ne ende ko jitu haye usale Osman Benadi ni kude Julius Abule. Yuku anabagi wa nkeshe aji betul nabai agos itu kiji nabai aja ke itu pergi kuliah syafai pergi kota babo kuasa ini adalah dia wa bod wedai enge Apa ni pada gue baik da wong ko do nga ba ko wasu do ba ke anya na ba ja pa ce na ku ya shi fa ba ba su da za sa mana yin to ko yin ka za sa shi na ku ya shi ba ai ni ai ba ko na yin anabaya ta sa inda gwamnati a ba shi a ta ce ba ku ba da inge yabo lamu na ke zina ye fata ja dudu a zabaya shi lo ina ba ta ga a ji batu a ja ba ya shi ina amata da ko luko safa ya sa da ke ne wa bodu wai da inga wai la lo ya gwamnati ba ya ta ce ba ina yi ko ne je mai kai wanda ke ba ta ce ba zan ba yi tun take a kilo mu kai mu na ji shi ba ke zina ya ba ko do inge ba ko tun gwamnati ta ga ina wata wai zabaya shi to ko tun ba batu a ba shi wa amma ba je ba na ba ki wasu shi kwasi ke faga shi kwanin su sai
Masu kallo da sauraron mu a daidai wannan lokaci, assalamu alaikum, barkamu da sake kasancewa da ku, da fatan ana nan cikin koshin lafiya. Kamar yadda aka saba a takaice ga fassarar abin da ya sauka daga labaran mu na yau, mai karantawa Yusuf Yakubu. Babbar kotun birnin tarayya Abuja ta kori Julius Abure daga matsayinsa na shugaban jam'iyyar Labour na ƙasa, inda ta amince da sanata Usman Nanedi a matsayin halartacciyar shugabar jam'iyyar ta riƙon ƙwarya. Mai shari'a Peter Lifo shine ya yi waiwaye ga umarnin da kotun ta bayar a ranar 4 ga watan Afrilun 2025, inda take amincewa da kasancewar Abure a matsayin shugaban jam'iyyar na ƙasa. Bugu da ƙari, kotun ta umarci hukumar zaɓe ta ƙasa INEC da ta gaggauta amincewa da sanata Nanedi Usman mai riƙon ƙwarya a matsayin halartacciyar shugabar, wacce za ta riƙe jagorancin jam'iyyar kafin ta yi taronta na ƙasa ta zaɓi wadda take so. A yayin da ake ci gaba da kyautata zaton gudanar da zaben ƙananan hukumomin Abuja cikin adalci, kwanciyar hankali da lumana, wakilinmu Abdullahi Ajiya ya shaida mana cewa hukumar zaɓe mai zaman kanta ta ƙasa reshen birnin tarayya Abuja INEC da hukumomin tsaro sun ce ta hanyar shirye-shirye da tattaunawa sun samu nasarar kintsa haɗa kayan aikin zaɓe da yadda za a yi zaɓen cikin kwanciyar hankali. Hukumomin sun bayyana haka ne a yayin taron ji daga juna da suka yi a kan tsaro da shirin gudanar da zaɓen a ranar 21 ga watan Fabrairu mai zuwa. Jirge tarkacen shara da datti a sassa daban-daban na ƙwaryar birnin tarayya Abuja, wanda ke haifar da akasin sufurin ababen hawa da babban ƙalubale ga lafiyar muhallin al'umma mazauna birnin. Wakiliyar Sandra Akeme ta rawaito mana cewa a yayin da lamarin ke ci gaba da taɓarɓarewa, tuni hankalin mutane ya koma kan hukumomin da ke da ruwa da tsaki akan kwashe shara da tsabtace birnin Abuja, inda aka gano cewa yajin aikin ma'aikatan hukumar raya birnin tarayya Abuja na da nasaba da halin da garin ya shiga na rashin tsabta kamar yadda ya saba, inda ake kyautata zaton komai zai koma daidai bayan sun dawo aiki. Ƙarshen labaran namu ne kenan, sai kuma gobe idan rai ya kai mu kasance cikin ƙoshin lafiya. Ma'assalam.
nọ na akụkọ ụwa na nkenke n'uhuruchi taa, ha bụ Maazị Okwi Francis Ide. ụlọ ikpe ukwu nke etiti ala anyị dị n'ime Abuja nwa bekee kpọrọ Federal High Court Abuja akwụsịla Julius Aburi ịgagharị na-akpọ onwe ya onye isi oche otu ndọrọndọrọ ọchịchị Labour Party ma nabatakwa kọmitii otu ndọrọndọrọ a nke Usman Nenadi bụ onye isi dịka onye iwu kwadoro ka ọ bụrụ onye isi oche ya bụ otu ndọrọndọrọ ọchịchị a. Justice Peter Lifu nyere iwu a nke o kwuru na ikpe ya gbadoro ụkwụ na ikpe Supreme Court kpere mgbe ọnwa anọ nke afọ 2025 gbara mkpụrụ abalị anọ nke chụpụrụ Aburi dịka onye isi oche Labour Party mgbe ahụ. Ụlọikpe gwara ụlọ ọrụ INEC ka ha mee ngwa ngwa nabata Nenadi Usman ma ya na ndị otu ha ka ha jidegodo ọkwa ma nọchite anya Labour Party ruo mgbe otu a ga-eme ọgbakọ nhọpụta ndị ndu ha nke nwa bekee kpọrọ National Convention. Ka a na-atụ anya na a ga-eme nhọpụta ndị isi oche okpuru ọchịchị isi a dị n'ime Abuja bụ isi ala anyị n'udo. Ụlọ ọrụ INEC achịkọbala ọgbakọ ndị ọrụ nchekwa iji wee dị njikere maka ya bụ nhọpụta. Onye nta akụkọ anyị bụ Abdullahi Ajia kọwara na okwu nchekwa pụtara ihe n'oge emere ọgbakọ etu a ga-esi were hazie ma mee nhọpụta na-enweghị ọgbata uhie ọbụla mgbe ọnwa ọzọ ga-agba mkpụrụ abalị 21 nke afọ 2026. Nnukwute ugwu mkposi ahịhịa jupụtara na mpaghara niile nke etiti Abuja bụ isi ala anyị nke na-egbochi ngafe ụgbọala nakwa ndị ji ụkwụ aga n'ụzọ. Ọnọdụ a na-ewute ndị bi n'ime Abuja nke ukwuu nke mere na ha kpọkuru ndị ọrụ ha bụ nzacha na mkpocha nke Abuja ka ha mee ngwa nwee ike imegharị ọdachi ọrịa na-efe efe nke mkposi a nwere ike ibute. Onye nta akụkọ anyị bụ Sandra Keme gara n'ụlọ ọrụ na-ahụ maka mkpocha na nzacha nke Abuja ịgba ha ajụjụ ọnụ mana abụbọ ọrụ a gbara na ime FCT gbochiri ha. Ekwukwara na ya bụ abụbọ ọrụ bụ ihe mere na mkposi a ka dị n'ụzọ ebe dịgasị iche iche. A na-atụ anya na mgbe abụbọ ọrụ a gasịrị na ihe niile ga-abịa na njedebe ma emezie ya nke ukwuu. Na-akọ ha anyị n'ọnụ gị bụ onye gere ntị ka ọ dịkwa echi.
ìròyìn ló ń dé sí etí pọ̀yìn láti lè ṣe àmóhùnmáwòrán ìkànnì karùn-ún l'Àbújá. Ọláyínká Adéníjì ni oníròyìn. Ilé ẹjọ́ gíga jùlọ kan tó kalẹ̀ sílùú Àbújá ti pàṣẹ wípé kí arákùnrin Julius Aburi ó dẹ́kun láti máa pe ara rẹ̀ ní alága ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú Labour tí wọ́n sì fìdí rẹ̀ múlẹ̀ wípé àwọn ìgbìmọ̀ fìdíhẹ́ èyí tí aṣojúṣòfin àgbà Usman Nenadi jẹ́ aṣáájú rẹ̀ ní ògidì ìgbìmọ̀ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí láìsí àní-àní. Àṣẹ yìí ni wọ́n jábọ̀ wípé ó ti wáyé láti ìdájọ́ tí ó ti ṣẹ̀ ní ọjọ́ 4 oṣù kẹrin ọdún 2025 láti ẹnu adájọ́ àgbà Peter Lifu. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí èròǹgbà láti rí i dájú wípé ètò ìdìbò lọ nírọ̀wọ́rọ̀sẹ̀ ní olú ìlú wa, àjọ tó ń rí sí ètò ìdìbò INEC àti àjọ ètò ààbò ti sọ wípé pẹ̀lú ìṣàkóso tó kójú òṣùwọ̀n àti àjùmọ̀sọ̀rọ̀, wọ́n ti rí i dájú wípé àwọn ohun èlò ètò ìdìbò àti ìlànà ìdìbò náà ti wà ní abẹ́ ààbò tó péye. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Abdullahi Ajia jábọ̀ wípé èyí jẹyọ níbi ìpàdé ìgbìmọ̀ àjùmọ̀sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ààbò ní ìgbáradì fún ètò ìdìbò olú ìlú wa tí yóò wáyé ní ọjọ́ 21 oṣù kejì ọdún tá a wà yìí. Àwọn ilẹ̀ tí wọ́n kójọpọ̀ jákèjádò sí àárín gbùngbùn Àbújá tí ó sì ń fa onírúurú àìlera bá àwọn ènìyàn àti ọkọ̀ lójú pópó ti di ohun tí kò bójúmu mọ́ fún àwọn aráàlú. Ní báyìí wọ́n ti wá pàkíyèsí iléeṣẹ́ tó ń ṣàkóso irúfẹ́ ìdọ̀tí wọ̀nyí nílùú Àbújá kí wọ́n jọ̀wọ́ wá wọ̀rọ̀kọ̀ fi ṣàdá lórí akutuhu yìí. Aṣojúkọ̀ròyìn wa Sandra Kẹ́mẹ̀ wà ní ìkàlẹ̀ lónìí nílé iṣẹ́ ọ̀hún tó sì jábọ̀ wípé àjọ AEPB ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìgbésẹ̀ láti rí dájú wípé wọ́n kó gbogbo ìdọ̀tí wọ̀nyí tí yóò sì fi di ìgbẹ́là afẹ́wé láwùjọ. Tó ìròyìn ọ̀hún kò ní ju báyìí lọ ìmú ló ní kọ́ńpù àgbọ̀nsẹ̀ lónìí họ́wùhọ́wù èmi ìrẹ́lẹ́jẹ́ lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà yìí o ẹ jẹ́ àṣẹ́kù dára ọ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan láòjì o kásùn láyọ̀.